The study of living things is biology. Biologists look into how creatures function from their smallest parts to their complete life cycles. They seek answers to questions like how does a tadpole develop into a frog, or why do people contract diseases? Biology encompasses all aspects of living things, including how they function, grow, interact with other organisms and their surroundings, and reproduce. In short, biology is the study of life. Animals are multicellular creatures from the kingdom Animalia. They usually move around when young, have a specific shape and size, and consist of specialized cells. You can find them everywhere from the ocean's depths to mountaintops, deserts to rainforests. They come in all sorts of shapes, sizes, and colors, each with unique traits. All animals are eukaryotic, which means their cells contain a nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles. They are also heterotrophic, which means they cannot make their own food and must consume other organisms for energy. Animals are also multicellular, which means they are made up of more than one cell. Most animals are motile, which means they are able to move from one place to another. This allows them to find food, avoid predators, and find mates. Animals can be grouped in a few fun ways. First off, you've got vertebrates, which are the ones with backbones, and then there are invertebrates, which don't have one. Another way to look at them is by how many body layers they have. Diploblastic animals have 2 layers, while triploblastic ones have 3. And when it comes to food, some animals are herbivores, only plants, others are carnivores, only meat, and some are omnivores, both plants and meat. Cool, right? Animals are super diverse, with millions of species out there. Some are tiny, like a pinhead-sized frog, while others are massive, like the blue whale, which can reach over 100 feet. They've adapted to live in almost every environment. Camels thrive in deserts, polar bears in the Arctic, monkeys swing in trees, and snakes slither through the underbrush. Isn't that cool? Despite their differences, all animals share some common characteristics. All animals are made up of cells, which are the basic units of life. Cells are specialized to perform specific functions in the body, such as carrying oxygen or fighting off infections. All animals are also eukaryotic, which means that their cells have a nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles. This is in contrast to bacteria and archaea, which are prokaryotic and do not have a nucleus. All animals have something in common. They're heterotrophic, which means they can't make their own food and need to eat other organisms for energy. Unlike plants that create their own food through photosynthesis, animals usually have a head, trunk, and tail. Plus they often show bilateral symmetry. That just means you can split their bodies into 2 equal halves. Jellyfish, on the other hand, have radial symmetry, dividing evenly along any plane. Animals also share some common features that help them move around their environment. Most animals have a nervous system that allows them to respond to stimuli in their environment. They also have a muscular system that allows them to contract and relax, producing movement. Many animals also have a skeletal system that provides support and structure to the body. Animals reproduce sexually, which means their offspring are produced by the combination of genetic material from 2 parents. This genetic material is carried in cells called gametes, which are produced by the process of meiosis. The process of sexual reproduction ensures that each offspring is genetically unique. Let's dive into the different types of animals. Remember, we can sort them by whether they have a backbone or not. Vertebrates like mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and fish are the ones we know best. But they're just a tiny slice of the animal kingdom. Most animals are invertebrates. Think of arthropods like insects and spiders, mollusks like snails and clams, annelid worms like earthworms, and roundworms that pop up everywhere. Pretty cool, right? Another way to classify animals is by their body plan. Animals with a true body cavity are called coelomates. This includes most animals with a bilateral symmetry. Animals without a body cavity are called acoelomates, while those with a false body cavity are called pseudocoelomates. Animals can also be classified by the type of skeleton they have. Some animals, like sponges and cnidarians, have no skeleton. Others, like insects, have an exoskeleton, or external skeleton. Still, others, like vertebrates, have an endoskeleton, or internal skeleton. Animals are adapted to their environment in many ways. Some animals, like giraffes, have long necks to reach high plants that other animals can't access. Others, like cheetahs, have sharp claws and teeth to catch prey. Many animals have also developed behaviors to help them survive. For example, birds often travel in flocks to find food and protect each other from predators. As we've seen, the animal kingdom is incredibly diverse. and there are millions of different types of animals. Each animal is unique and has its own adaptations and characteristics. Hopefully this overview has given you a better understanding of what animals are and the different types of animals that exist. If you enjoyed learning about animals, then be sure to check out our other videos on the topic. We've got everything from the biggest animals to the smallest animals to the fastest animals in the world, so there's sure to be something for everyone. Thanks for watching. So, for those of you that don't know anything about biology, it can seem like a pretty intimidating subject. But honestly, biology is one of the most interesting subjects in all of science, and that's because it's all about life itself. So today we're going to look at some basic biology facts that will hopefully inspire you to learn more about this amazing subject. Let's start with fact no. 1. In biology, an animal is a multicellular organism in the kingdom Animalia. Animals are multicellular, meaning that they are made up of more than one cell, unlike bacteria and other types of unicellular organisms. The scientific study of animals is known as zoology. Zoology is one of the oldest branches of natural science, comparable with botany, which is the study of plants. Fact no. 2. Mammals are the only class of animals that produce milk to feed their young. There are around 5,000 species of mammals alive today. All mammals belong to the class Mammalia, which is characterized by the possession of mammary glands, hair or fur, 3 middle ear bones, a neocortex, and other features. Some well-known examples of mammals include dogs, cats, whales, humans, and bats. One of the key characteristics of mammals is that females produce milk to nourish their offspring. This is why the class is named Mammalia. The word mammal comes from the Latin word mamma, which means breast. Fact number 3. Amphibians are the only class of animals that can live both on land and in water. Amphibians are a class of cold-blooded vertebrates that typically have moist skin and live part of their lives in water and part on land. There are around 8. Hey there, welcome to my channel. In this episode of Crash Course Botany, we're going to look at what makes something an animal, so let's get into it. The biological study of animals began in Greece around 600 BCE with the work of Aristotle. Aristotle grouped animals based on shared characteristics like whether they had red blood or exoskeletons. This system worked pretty well until people started discovering organisms that didn't fit into these categories. For example, in the mid-1700s, scientists found microscopic animals called ciliates that didn't seem to have any nervous system at all. And by the 1800s, scientists were debating how to classify animals without a nervous system, as well as animals that were neither vertebrate nor invertebrate. These debates led to the idea that animals could be defined by what they do rather than what they are, which was very different from the way that plants had been classified. To understand why, let's do a quick review of the way we define and classify plants. In the plant kingdom, there are a few features that all plants have in common, like being multicellular, having cell walls made out